Welcome to Transformations with Tara. This is Tara Sutphen, and my guest and co-host is Jason D. McKean, and he is the voice of over 1 million ohm recordings throughout the world. And Jason, welcome to the show. And you can find those ohm recordings pretty much everywhere: iTunes, Spotify, at jasondmckean.com, JASONDMCKEAN.com.
Yeah, it's Amazon, is provides all of my albums. And yeah, they're just there's even on YouTube, it's just like it's everywhere.
Do you have still CDs, or do you have only digital downloads?
I don't know who has CD players, but I'm sure that there's a handful of those old timers, right? It's like, no, I need my CDs.
Yeah.
It's so funny how once everything started going digital, how just all of these CDs that were amazing in their time, it just became like obsolete. So
it's incredible, isn't it? Because there's just so many really good ones.
Yeah. And what's, it's like a lot of cars still have a CD player in it, but it's not recommended that you listen to my own albums in a moving vehicle because they're relaxing. They will.
Oh no, I think
they will quell the road rage.
Right.
It's like absolutely, if you're in that blissful state. But I have had people who said, it can kind of take them too far under. And so it's like, don't do that.
Don't drive under mellow music.
Under
put
the
your rock and roll back
under meditational music.
Right.
Stuff that is like meant for you to go in and go in deep.
Relax.
Yeah, that's
is that the ohm beats?
You want to be sharp.
Ohm beats.
Ohm beats is kind of a
upbeat.
It is an exception to that rule, because it's like you get the benefit of that centering energy that the ohm can bring, but it's with the beats and all, it's more lively, and also you can kind of like dance along to it while you're driving, so it's that kind of vibe. It's great for like homework, or staying up late and focusing on information that you have to move through, because there's no lyrics to it that can be distracting, and yet there's an energy to it. So it's a little bit like a little cup of coffee or something like that, just to get you caffeinated enough to get through what you need to get through. But it's perfect for studying and doing all that good stuff. Who you got there?
I got hold on, we're getting him. Hold on, come on up, my little man.
Hello, little man.
Say hi.
Hi, Bentley.
Everybody. He's seeing if I ate without him.
He's checking you. He's doing a breathalyzer.
He's doing a breathalyzer.
A dog breathalyzer.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Yes. He's 11 now. He's getting up there.
Yeah, that's a good run when they get up in their teens or close to it.
Well, he's getting up there. He's doing goofy stuff now. He did goofy stuff.
He's always done goofy stuff.
He's been a goofy dog. But I love him. Say bye to everybody. Bye. Oops.
Whoa.
Oh.
It's like,
whoa.
So autumn. That's like my favorite time of year.
Yes.
Is autumn.
Yes.
I've always loved like the changing of the leaves, and just everywhere I've lived. Living back east, it's like in
magical.
In autumn. Oh my God. I mean, that is like the place to. I think it's called peeping. I think that's the event that takes place, something like that, where people are like, let's go peeping this weekend. And it's like watching the leaves, looking at all the leaves.
Yeah.
I could
Beautiful.
be, I mean, if anyone says, hey, it's not called that at all, then voice up. But I think it's something like that. Maybe I should look. That's what the
Right.
internet is for.
Right. Right. So yeah, no, I really enjoy autumn as well. But I enjoy every season, and it all has its magic. But the whole thing with autumn is that we're starting to get into all those the pagan Sabbats, which are so much fun, Samhain and
Well, they're food oriented too.
all food. Well, all of them are food oriented anyway. But yeah, it's just there just seems to be kind of like comfort food with them. Yeah, like the fall equinox, beautiful time. Food. We had so much food. Yeah, Chef Cheyenne. Yeah.
So, do you call it autumn or fall? Just curious.
Do I call it autumn or fall?
Yeah.
Fall equinox, autumn equinox, Mabon.
What's your preference though?
Mhm.
Do you prefer the word autumn, or do you prefer fall when you speak of this season?
Oh, I prefer of autumn. I say autumn, but for some reason this year it's fall.
Mhm.
Because I
Yeah.
noticed that with my writing. It was like, no, it's fall equinox now. Instead of I usually always say autumn because I like the word autumn.
It's
And I'm born in autumn. So you think, yeah, you're a summer baby. Mhm.
right, should be like my favorite this summer, but in various places, like summer in California, it's pretty hot. And there's just something like a little bit more magical, I feel. It's the I think that it captures like the poetic heart, the poetic bloodstream a little bit more.
Oh, autumn.
Autumn. Yeah, it's like there's something and it can be, where it's a more dramatic change of of the leaves and all, but it's also, where, Halloween, that
Right.
energy comes into play. And I think that I'm just kind of more wired towards like the mysterious, and also
Yeah,
so maybe that's
we
why
are.
it's
We are as a
part of it.
family, let alone as a, we really are even as a family. All toward the mysterious, the spiritual, the even religious, some of them,
Yeah,
some of our
it's like
relatives.
being able to peek, beyond the veil,
Yeah, and for some
it's more
reason,
interest.
going into the dark is maybe, because it's definitely we're losing light now. We're going in towards, the darkest time of the year on the 21st. So we're going toward the dark. And so we're settling down. We're resting actually.
Mhm.
We're supposed to be resting our bodies after working hard all year and
Right,
creating the harvest. Yeah,
working
I mean
hard and
that's
then eating.
yeah, it's a cycles of the moon. Yeah. Love it.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer the word autumn myself, because it has a more, I mean, it's a beautiful word to look at just visually.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
but it's a hell of a word to rhyme with, if you're like writing a poem or a song or something. It's like, there's
Autumn.
variations,
Yeah.
it's like bottom, you could
Yeah.
like, but autumn and bottom, it's like
That's about it.
maybe column, I mean, there's words that you can kind of like just kind of
Yeah.
kind of try
Get
to
in there.
squeeze in, right?
Right.
um whereas fall,
Rhyming.
it's like
Right.
you have it all,
Right. Right. Yeah.
maybe there's that exclusiveness though to it, that
Call to
just kind of makes
fall.
it like,
Yeah.
you know, it stands alone.
Yeah, but you could do like I was like, call to fall, autumn is whispering my name, through the trees, through the flowers.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, never know. It's pretty. The wind.
Yeah. So what is it about, some of the energy of autumn?
Well, I think that it's for us to really get into our resting phase. Like we have to really get into soothing our minds. We're going into these days where we're supposed to be a little more rested.
Mhm.
Summer, you're supposed to be active. And it was hot. It was really hot all over the whole world this summer. So it was a hot summer. So it was hard to move our bodies, but it's about moving our bodies maybe just a little bit more consciously. Yeah. Being
I find that, it's like, with people who do like meditations and things like that, that drops off during the summertime. Like
mm,
like people are wanting to be outdoors more. They're
mm,
more active, they're more engaged. Um, and then once autumn rolls around again, winter and all, then people can begin that process of going in and meditating and all.
right. And autumn is a great time. I have a lot of seminars during or private events during autumn. And it's just a wonderful time to be in Sedona or other parts of the country, but where we're going to be outside a lot in Sedona.
You're like, that's coming up soon, isn't it?
I'm about 2 weeks out. So, yep, there's still room. Anybody wants to come? There's a couple spots left, but I have a really great group and it's going to be great.
Fantastic.
Mm.
And it really is great this time of year too.
It is. Yeah, and I rent the ranch, so the ranch is really has a lot to do, a lot of places to meditate and hang out and hike around on, and it's fun. Great time.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's just naturally orange too. It's like one big
Mhm.
leaf that has turned orange, right? Sedona, the red rock.
Oh yeah, it's so beautiful. So beautiful. Yeah, well, a lot of people go through Oak Creek Canyon this time of year because that has the turning of the leaves. Gorgeous. And
Hmm.
it's there in Sedona. So, anybody coming to Sedona, there's lots to do. You should stay extra if you do come because, after the seminar before, plan a few days because you like to hang out. Yeah.
Is there a popular photo there where it shows like Oak Creek and then like, is it like Courthouse Rock or Cathedral Rock kind of right behind it?
No, I don't know. Oh, yeah, it is. No, you're right. That's Oak Creek, but the drive of Oak Creek is up past you're going up Sedona on 89A and going up all the way to Flagstaff. That's the scenic route.
Hmm.
That's the scene. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds beautiful.
It is beautiful.
And what
But
what what
yeah,
date did you say it was? October
but
what?
it's Cathedral Rock. That's one of the vortexes that is seen a lot of times.
Yeah.
The Oak Creek is there. And that was a lot of Western movies in the olden days were filmed there, like a lot of John Wayne movies and stuff.
Yeah, it's probably a lot harder to shoot a movie now without a lot of people and to just kind
Yes.
of signs of,
Yeah.
modern life
Hmm.
there. Not that
Yeah.
it doesn't have its, once you get out there, it's like it's pretty natural and
Hmm.
all, but just in the town itself and all that, it's like can be a little bit busy times of years.
Yeah. Yeah. October is a definitely happening month there. And beautiful restaurants. It's beautiful there these days, you know, with the vortexes and it's just, and there's atmosphere because it is autumn.
Yeah.
It's so much easier as far as it's not hot. It's not hot. It's just comfortable. Yeah. I know.
So how do you
Perfect
think,
weather.
you know, it's like if people have been busy throughout the
Mhm.
summer and all they've been, you know, active and is it a time to, I mean, because it feels like, you know, if it's a time of like the harvest and all, when you look at what you've accomplished and you're able to be in that place of gratitude, you know, I think it's interesting that you know, Thanksgiving, that idea of it being
Mhm.
in like kind of the autumn season,
Yes.
like that's when, you know, the cornucopia of the harvest comes in, and then there's like the um that display of gratitude.
Right, but the cornucopia is actually yesterday of the it's Mabon, which is an interesting thing, but they use it too for Thanksgiving in
Mhm.
America, and probably Canadian Thanksgiving as well. They have a Thanksgiving.
Right.
So, you know, we have our feast days. That's great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Love it.
And you know, it's like having these like with Mabon, right? It's like because it seems uh, like now is kind of more that harvesting time, you know,
Mhm.
of those crops that are ready to be harvested. And you know, once you have it, right, it's like then it's like you can store it, right? There's still work to be done in protecting the harvest, right? Because you're going to squirrel away some of it, right? You're going to prepare it. You know, there can be uh, things that you do to make sure that you over the course of the autumn anyway, you'll have it for winter,
Mhm.
right? You know, I'm speaking as if we're all kind of farmers and we're like, you know, bringing in
Farmers.
our
We're
crops, right?
farmers these days. We usually have Everest garden, and you have, you know, your wife Sumera. So, you know, you have to be somewhat knowledgeable because she's out there doing such great work helping people with their gardens and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, she's got like big gardens
Mhm.
filled with big crops, but you know, it's like the vast majority too can just like, well, I'm just going to go to the grocery store, and you know, it's like they don't have to like think in those kind of in the old ways,
Mhm.
right? Because these are like the Sabbats and all that, they're kind of like a reflection of a way of life that, you know, is very much closer to the earth than a lot of us can be in modern life. But how is it that we can still, you know, um, be in that energy, right? And acknowledge, you know, basically the seasons, right? And be in the energy of those seasons and acknowledge that those energies that they can be, you know, that we can resonate with them.
Yeah. Right. And, you know, I mean, I don't find any energy too hard, except sometimes winter can be hard. Some days in winter can be, you know, especially in the northern hemisphere, you know, the further you get north, like we were raised in Alaska, to whereas, you know, you have a lot of snow and it can be rough, you know, like thinking you're never going to see the sun again. Like,
I remember
please,
those weeks,
those
months.
weeks, we'd have weeks. We'd actually have weeks when we didn't see the sun. And it used to be, and then you see the sun and it's very cold still.
Oh
So
my
it's like,
God, those are the coldest days where
yeah,
it was like it's like you wanted like the gray skies, you know,
yeah,
because that means that it was like warmer. But when it was like
yeah,
the sun was out, oh my God, it could be 20 below.
yeah, it was cold. But it was so, yeah, no, it was sad. But it was fun.
I don't know about
It
fun.
was really fun, Jason. When I worked on the Alaska pipeline, I have to say, it was really beautiful seeing up there because it was the, you know, extension of Siberia. It is it's
Like the
those
North
ice
Pole.
flats. Yeah. And just being up there in the Arctic Circle, it would be all orange, all purple at sunset, just the whole snow. Everything would be one beautiful color, and it would be like just magical.
Well, up there, it's like as far as light, I mean,
Mhm.
that window of daylight would be even smaller, right? As
Right.
far as in the Arctic Circle.
Right. Yeah, and then in the autumn, it would be very interesting because all the animals would be like all the Arctic foxes would be changing to white from brown. And then you have all your animals kind of getting ready for the winter. It was interesting, and it was fast. It was really fast because once you didn't really you had the light until June 21st, and then it was light all night long. And then when it was dark all night long, all day long.
Mhm.
Yeah, all day. Yeah, pretty much. And even when we were in school, I remember looking out the window and saying, "Oh gosh, there's the light." And then it'd be gone.
By the time we get
By the time
out.
we get out
Yeah.
of school. Yeah, it's like, it's dark again.
Oh
But
yeah.
you lived with it, and we were fine with it as kids. I mean, I was. I loved it, and you got to study a lot, and you were reading books and listening to music, and you didn't there was not a lot of excuses that you had to be outside to go do something, you know, like 10 yards, or ride horses like I like to do so much. Yeah. So it was just, yeah, you could study.
Do you like pumpkin spice?
I do.
Like, because this is the season for it, right?
Yeah, I love pumpkins. Yeah, I love, and it's interesting, like here in America, we don't eat a lot of pumpkin other than like pumpkin pie. But in New Zealand, they eat pumpkin all the time as an actual squash during their autumn, which is our spring. So there's a lot of pumpkin eating. Pumpkin eating. Yeah, and I love pumpkin soup too. So the thing is that you eat a lot down there. Pumpkin.
Yeah, it
That
is.
and
It is very
kumara.
seasonal. Very seasonal
Kumara.
here.
We don't eat kumara potatoes, but yeah,
Yeah.
root. It's a root. Yeah, stuff like that. But it's good.
Yeah, I'm usually good with pumpkin as a season, where it doesn't have to be all year round. It's just like, one uh
One slice of pie or whole pie.
no, I'll try to eat a whole pie, not all at once, just
Okay.
to savor it.
Yeah.
Um, but a pumpkin pie. Yeah,
See, you're already looking forward to the pumpkin pie. So what are you looking forward
yeah.
to in the autumn energy? Just Thanksgiving?
No, because I mean, Halloween is like
Oh,
a thing, right? And I
yeah.
just like
That
got
one.
a call yesterday from someone who's wanting me to read for a party, and
Mhm.
it's always like, it's like the idea of marrying tarot with Halloween, like it's a scary thing. Ooh,
Ooh.
it's like that's the like the popular
And for
misconception of it.
years, you were down there at the Queen Mary you were doing that for years.
Yeah, yeah, and I would be
You
in this
loved it.
very ghoulish makeup,
Oh, and
as
they were all makeup artists.
very scary, like scary tarot reader. And yet, I find that I was reading like I normally would for anyone, because people are like, don't tell me how I'm gonna die, or they're afraid of,
Mm.
just the future. And I was just like, I'm like, we're gonna look at how you're gonna live. Let's look at you as
Life.
a human being, and I'm not there
Yeah.
to like scare the pants off people. not with Tarot, because it's way too sacred of
Yeah.
a path. And so, if they're hiring me, I'm going to read like I read. And that's to see, the best potential for people.
Nice.
And so it's it's weird when you have like all of this kind of dark imagery painted on your face. It's like, my eyes are bleeding, and yet
Right.
I'm telling you, it's like, oh, you've got a job opportunity coming up.
The zombie speaks.
Right.
Right. The zombie tarot wizard.
You're going to be eating brains for lunch and dinner and breakfast. And you have a new job opportunity.
Right.
It's so but I mean, there, like living in California and all, it's like you're more exposed to like the Dia de los Muertos energy there of honoring the ancestors. And so it's like, there is this appreciation, because it's like we see the environment around us,
Yeah.
the leaves turning, the falling from the trees, like where there's this preparing for the winter, right? And it's like one can appreciate those times of where even things like aging, and it's like, again, remembering where it is that we've been, so that we can incorporate that. We can learn the lessons from all of these things. We can, connect with our ancestors, learn from them, so that, because the cycle keeps moving on. It's like by the time that spring rolls around, it's like there's rebirth. There's, we can have renewed energy for doing more stuff. But it's always, a thing of moving around in cycles. And if it's one of introspection, then maybe, Tarot is perfect. Any kind
Right.
of counseling is perfect for this season of, it's like, what did you learn from all of this activity that you did over the summer and the spring?
Right. Yeah. And you can say, like, what was your favorite activity or event that happened this summer?
My birthday.
Oh, your birthday was magical. It was. It was really magical. Very beautiful.
That's a very Leo answer, though.
That is a Leo answer.
But
it was wonderful though.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. We had a great party.
Yeah, I mean,
I put on a party for him, and then days with his wife. He had such a great time. You had a great birthday this year.
Yeah,
you did a lot of fun things.
Yeah, there's fun things that.
Yeah,
that
you went to like the tile house. Was that on your birthday?
The mosaic house.
Mosaic house.
Yeah, a house made of mosaic tiles, covered in mosaic tiles, and just a real art piece.
To go see it.
Yeah,
I love to do mosaics.
It's really inspiring, and it's like you get to meet the artists, the couple that created all of the art in it. It's just like, was it like 30 years or so of just that, dedicated, creation. It's like, hats off.
Right. Yeah. Can't wait someday. Go see that. Yeah. Maybe Chef Cheyenne wants to go with me.
Oh, she would love it.
She would love it. No, I can tell.
Completely.
Yes.
I mean, because there's bits of fancy in there.
Yeah.
And just very, I mean, it's just very ornate, and it's just like, okay. I mean, this is great. Yeah, it's like, for yourself, what was there a certain push, in a certain direction for the summer, as far as like that you can kind of reflect on? Or
Well, I think that I mean, your birthday was really special. We had a lot of really wonderful times with Everest. You know, we would, I'd pack a picnic for her swim lessons. She had private swim lessons twice a week. And so we, afterwards, I'd pack a picnic lunch, and she always wanted me to go too, even though her dad was going. She would want me to go, and I would take the picnic, and we'd have dinner at the park. We'd pick different parks all around. And so we'd go have picnics. And she loved it. She loved that. Mhm. So that was a big thing this summer. And then the other thing that we did is that I took her and Hunter, when Cheyenne was living in this beautiful place on an island and in Washington. And so we drove up with mom, my mom.
My mom,
My mom.
my,
She's mine. Our mom, who's in her
she
80s.
she was there
And
for
she
yours for that week.
she was great. Everybody like stayed well, and she went hiking at 86. She went hiking even. She did well.
Did you
I
push
mean,
her hard?
No,
It's like, come on, let's
you
go.
can do it, mom. Yeah. Nope. She did really super well.
Good.
So, and it wasn't a long hike, but it was, I think it was a mile and a half or something.
Right.
You did it. Yeah. So it was good. And she just generally, just the bonfires outside, and then we had Oliver, Travis's son, Travis Sutphen, my little stepson. So we had all the relatives and the cousins playing, and we had fun. It was blessed. We had a really good time having family time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that was really wonderful. And then, I was traveling too. Before that, went to Florida twice, and yeah, I've been to Florida, I think 3 times in this summer, and Alabama a couple times too. Yeah.
So,
And I'll be in New York,
a lot
I'll
of
be in
work.
Arizona, I'll be, I was in Washington, yeah, it's a lot of work. Yeah. I've been working and have fun too.
Good.
Laugh along the way. See people I love.
Well, that's muy importante.
Muy importante.
Is to, find enjoyment.
Yes.
In that what you do, because it keeps you invigorated, keeps you light, and
It does.
you can be focused, with what you're doing, like work wise, career wise, and all. But even family, it's like you find those areas of enjoyment, where you can kind of let your hair down a little bit, laugh.
Well, this is with progress, So the thing with autumn and progress, it's going to be a lot more bonfires, or sitting around candles, or doing a little sourcing, praying, eating well. But the gym is always near, and nice, beautiful walks through the autumn. It's just so nice. Yeah. Now in Alaska in autumn, by October 10th, I always said it always snowed. And so we'd play around. I would walk and walk and walk, because we walked back and forth to school. But because the bus didn't come to pick us up, we were just at a mile, right under a mile, and they didn't pick anybody up that was under a mile from the school. Go figure. Anyway, so we all had to walk to school. I don't know if you had to walk too, I think, Jace, didn't you?
In the winter time. In the winter time.
Winter.
But I did, our dad felt sorry for me.
For you.
Like
For Jason.
one year,
Yeah, see,
But
he
I paid the
did that.
price for it though. I
What
paid
did you,
the
what was the price?
well, I mean, I got like a ride to school, but I was always late. He could not like get
Oh,
me there,
oh, on
you
time.
know, so it's like, um, the geometry, I think it was like one of those math classes. They almost failed me because I got like a D in it because
Oh,
it was just attendance. I just always came in like,
because
10
Jason's a
minutes late.
straight A student. Yeah, that wouldn't have been good
And
for
so
you. That probably really
it's
wigged you out.
one more thing to blame dad about, as far as like ruining my math career,
Right.
me being a mathematician
Right.
professionally.
Well, they say, I always tell the story because, we were talking about it in math class when I was in ninth grade. We were talking about how, are we ever going to use this math?
No,
It was
never.
algebra class or something.
This is crap.
And, I said, oh, I don't know, and so I just did it, of course, because, you got to do it instead of like fighting with the system. And so I use math every day in astrology. I It's completely math for me in my mind. It's not, like names, and it's usually mathematic equations for me. And so it's like I can't even imagine not being kind of a math whiz. So
The deeper math too, it's like it didn't set with me.
yeah.
I am not that person. But what it did do is it opened me up to logic
Hmm.
in college. And so logic it's basically geometry, but it's
Hmm.
using thoughts, the English language, right, as your instrument of measurement. It's not the
Hmm.
numbers, it's using language. And but it's all about the angles of how one comes to a certain reasoning, right? And so that has served me so much greater in like the world of psychology and counseling, and being able to understand human nature, be able to talk about it.
Mm,
And
interesting.
and so you may not resonate early on
Hmm.
with a particular uh, way of
Subject.
like the symbols, like it's like math is a language, and it is a way of seeing things. But it's like you can find something maybe down the road that you really do lock into, and it's like, okay, that's more for me. And it can be kind of the same thing, but it's just represented differently.
Yeah. Right.
So I had a question because I was looking up online about autumn and stuff like that, and they say that you're able to see the brightest moons during
Mhm.
the autumn time.
Oh yeah, the brightest moons.
Yeah, maybe because of how the placement. I would imagine it's a placement of the Earth and the Sun and all. But you're able to see
No, they've been
the
so
brightest full
bright.
moons.
No, even the full moons have been so bright because they're supposed to be like a little closer, like
Hmm.
a couple thousand miles closer,
But
which are
if that
like
makes a difference,
400,000 miles away from us. But hey, hmm?
if that makes a difference though in the cosmological sense,
Yeah,
then it is like, however those things are measured, we may not see it with our eyes,
right.
but if something is measuring it as far as the luminosity of it, then it's
Hmm.
like that's what I heard. That's what the internet said.
Yeah.
Who am I to question the internet? Right.
My gosh, to question such things. Yeah. Somebody's opinion. Yeah, very funny. That is very funny. There's so much information out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are a clear thinking human. There is no confusion. Okay. Yeah, use your noggin, everyone. Yeah. Yeah. Don't get into the fray of things. We were talking about that this morning, actually.
Getting into the fray.
Yeah,
of things.
be neutral. It's best to be neutral about things.
Well,
I mean, because the arguing is just like ridiculous.
during class, right?
Yeah.
Last night we're talking about, some stuff, and it's like, having passion in an area, if you're
Mhm.
called to an area that's your path, go for it.
Right.
Um, we're asked to like dive into a lot of different, this, it's just everyone can like be saying, hey, you need to be concerned about this, you need to dive into this, and it's just like, modern life, right? It can be overwhelming.
Right.
And, so there's, you pick and choose, right? But, go within and make sure that you're, if something is important to you, then absolutely, go for it. If something doesn't resonate with you, it's like, you don't have to, just jump on
Hmm.
everything.
Right.
It'll wipe you out. you know it can just deplete your energy. It can deplete your focus towards that which is more important to you.
Right. Right. I mean, and you have to look at what is passion, like what is constructive passion, like, your hobbies. Like mine all started as hobbies, horses, art. I went to art school for 3.5 years. And then I also went to metaphysics. I've been the divination systems has totally been my passion and became my work because that was my primary really gift at that time. I realized that I did that best. So all the psychic ability, the divination systems, tarot, palmistry, handwriting analysis, astrology, Eastern and Western, and people kind of like are funny with me sometimes, like, oh my gosh, you try to do too much. And it's like, well, not really. It's all like systems. I'm into the systems of them. Yeah. So it's fun. And not that astrology is like the universe. I mean, it's so much to know, so it takes years and years to really hone it well, I feel.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's whatever you have the capacity for,
Yeah.
just dive into it. It's like,
Right.
And yeah, it's like if you have an ability to like have this overview of a system, it's like
Mm.
you can look at a lot of different modalities, and you
Yes.
can understand them at a real deep level, because of an ability to have that overview of it.
But I stayed in the same vein to whereas, even the art, I stayed, I really love drawing people. And, so I stayed in that, like I don't do scenes well, like trees, to whereas Cheyenne's just phenomenal at trees.
Mhm.
And, so you know, so there's, and then Willie's good at some different modalities of art. Like he can pick and choose here and there, but in reality, I mean, there's that metal work he does on the canvas is just incredible. So yeah, just just you pick and choose. And Jason, of course, is art director. He did a lot of modalities in art. You're like so good at art, any sort of Adobe workshop on the computers and computer whiz, building websites, and then, but the art, anything, just, can put anything together. And uh, musical, you've stayed in the art areas. Yeah. And tarot. So you became the divinator too.
Which is an art
So,
form as well.
yeah.
I try to instill that into the students who come into classes, is that and it's like you can learn, like book learn, you can learn as much as you want from there, but you're also taking from your own experience. you're
Right.
you're, you're taking a deep look at your own core, the type of person that you are. I always say, if you like people at your core, that's going to serve you as a counselor. You
Yes.
don't like people, it's like you may want to like do something else.
Right. Right. Yeah. You and I like a lot of people.
Yeah.
Enjoy people.
We see, I mean, we look at energy, right? And it's like being able to see potential in
Mhm.
people and to want to bring it out,
Yes.
rather than, you know, uh, holding back on it or tamping it down or whatever. It's like, but you said something about passion, right?
Mhm.
About passion, and it's like,
Mhm.
I think that passion is fuel,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know.
and why I said that is because so many people get off passionately arguing about things that, unless you can really do something personally about, all you're doing is talking. Because our mind meets our communication skills meet our actions. And where are you just staying stuck? Is it just in the voice? Is it just in your head? Is it actually moving your body into progressing your life into where you want it to go?
Mhm.
Because, we create our reality. So if we're complaining about everybody and everything all the time, that's what we're going to be. We're going to be in a depressed state where we're thinking everything's out to get us because, that's the fear. And, that's, powers that be want you to be in fear. So, you're falling into the vat of it. So back it up, strong mind, strong body, strong speaking, be passionate about your life because, this is not a dress rehearsal. So go on about passions, Chase.
Well, it's like this time of year too. If one is in a reflective space, or if they take that time, you know, to be in that space, then it can be one of making a commitment to self, to strengthen oneself, to
Mhm.
um, maybe change up a, a course of action where it's more positive, like learn from your mistakes. I know. And you said something about, like more bonfires and more, as
Yeah.
people will go indoors a little bit
Fun.
more and the holidays come up, it's like, it's like everyone has an opinion. Right? Everyone can get in those heated arguments and stuff like that. But again, looking for building, are you looking to build others in your life? If you're passionate about like building your own life up and making it constructive, then everyone around you is a part of that. They can be supportive, or it can be adversarial, right? And it's like, look at what it is that you're doing to foster those relationships, and make an effort, make a conscious effort, build that awareness within yourself, like, I can you know do my part to change things up, so that it's like, if I'm meeting with a certain person, it doesn't just go to this. It's
Yeah.
just like, you can let go of things too, so that you're able to surpass your own expectations of yourself too, because you can
Yeah.
hold yourself back by just always locking horns. You can um kind of move around people or situations too. You can just take those detours that just take you past them, and get you to where it is that you need to go, so that
Right.
you're expressing your best self, and getting done what you need to get done.
Right. I was just looking at, some of the some of the how the activities that you do on Mabon, on with the spring equinox. Anyway, like the activities they say, making wine. Yeah, I've never made wine. But
Yeah, it's like,
yeah, maybe somebody wants to, of course, out there. Yeah, gathering dried herbs, plant plants, seeds, and seed pods, walking in the woods, scattering offerings in harvested fields, offering a ritual, pouring to loved ones. Because, they do a whole thing where you're supposed to give libations to the trees. Well, it can be fertilizer, and you give them a little fertilizer, and you say a little offering, like a little prayer. Like, I'm giving you this sustenance because, I would love for my ancestors and my descendants to breathe fresh, beautiful air from you, beautiful trees. There you go. And yeah, I mean, so it's just, it's just fun. So I wrote about it and gave you some recipes out there on Facebook. So yeah, and on my blogs.
Awesome. Awesome. So that is something that is out there
Yes.
already.
Yes. So you can look at terrainsight.com on the blog, or my other blog, which is terrasutphen.blog, or you can go to lifeforceactivation.com. It's one or the other. Yeah. So,
What kind of libations?
well, I would say fertilizer because, I think that they gave them actually like drinks.
Like mead?
Yeah, mead or
Wine.
whiskey or something. Wine. Yeah, to where Cheyenne used to do, that's how she became a chef. My daughter Cheyenne, when she was young, I don't know, 10 or 11, she'd ask me if she could have dinner parties. I was like, okay, for Maybon or Beltane or the equinox, anything, and solstices, anything she wanted to give. She wanted to do, a Sabbath dinner, and everything had to be, creative feast. So I buy her all the ingredients, we'd go to the store together. She'd buy a bunch of ingredients, and everything was done by hand, even the pie crust. It was all done by hand. And so she'd invite a bunch of her friends, and so she'd have like 10 or 15 kids over for these dinners. And usually they used our big deck, and, they'd do their plates in the kitchen and then go down with their food and eat outside and or in the dining room, but usually, these kids. And so she'd have her own party, and it was all just around food. And then the girls, they would give a portion, just a little portion. They'd save a little bit of food to go give to the trees and to the fields. You're supposed to give back to the earth just a little tiny bit. And so all the girls, I'd watch them marching off, never the boys. The boys were going to eat every bite. It was so funny. It was so funny. I always laughed because I was like, oh, the boys, they're not falling for this. They're eating their food. No, we're not saving any. We're eating it. It was really funny. Yeah, because it was like a consensus with them all, like, no, it's too good. We're growing boys. We're eating. It was funny. So, but that's how she loved cooking food, is because I would let her have these dinner parties, and she just loved it.
It's amazing. So
So
where can people reach you? Where can they find your work?
terrainsight.com. It's TARAINSIGHT. I have the Vortex Mystery School is coming along. We have, I think, 12 or 13 now, lectures and classes for astrology. And I'm going to do everything in time. So, it'll be fun. And that is out at Vortex Mystery, Vortex Mystery School.teachable.com, I believe. So you can find that on my Facebook. And I think that's also on my link tree in my Instagram, if you guys want to see some of those classes, because they're really fun. And they're
And
not
those
expensive.
classes,
They're my cheapest thing to do. So
they're
yeah,
available?
yeah, they're available to study.
Great.
And then you can have your own chart done if you'd like, because whatever we're talking about, then you can look up on yours. And what I would suggest to somebody is that they Xerox theirs and their chart, and that way they can find it and then they can mark it where. So you have your clean copy, but then you have your other copies. And we can do that. I think we have a service that you can buy you adjust your astrology wheel. Yeah, and that's on the website. Yeah.
Right. So you just print that, and then you make copies of it so that
Yeah, so
you
you
have
can find it.
workable
Yeah,
ones
so
that you can write on stuff like
write
that.
on. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, because that's fun. I that's how I used to always love to do stuff like that. Like, oh, let me see where mine is, and mark it.
That's how you
But
learn too.
yeah, and we don't go into just there are lectures on different things, but we're trying to make it fun and interesting. And I work with Matthew Engel out of San Francisco, and he's just fabulous. I mean, we're just in sync. There's a great synergy we have, and we're both different types of astrologers, and so it works really great. So, and then Jason, Jason, we're going to have to do something upcoming as well. Jason was at the last Sedona seminar that we did last April, I think.
March,
Yeah.
April, something.
Yeah, somewhere in there. And
back in the old days.
Back in the olden days of 2022. and we had a great time. Yeah, we had a really great time. But we're going to have a really wonderful, amazing time also in October 8th and 9th, 2022. So like I said, there's a couple spots left. There's no rooms left at the ranch, but there are spots. There's cabins in Munt Park, and there's Cottonwood, Sedona, Camp Verde. There's plenty of places to stay, around Sedona if you don't go in Sedona itself. Yeah, and come to the seminar, because that ranch is really exciting and fun. And the class, people make lifelong friends out of those seminars. It's really fun. Yeah, and then and it's a really special ranch too. We have a labyrinth on us, and a really well-made special medicine wheel that's just incredible. So I mean, we have a lot of places to meditate and have fun on. Yeah. So anyway, and I never want to leave the ranch. It's too fun. I don't know if I'd ever leave the ranch, period, if I lived there. It was too great. But
well, maybe for groceries here and there.
Have
right?
Delivered. Yeah. No, it's really great. It's great. So anyway, yeah, that's my schedule so far. I have so many upcoming seminars that I still have to plan out. Everybody's been after me, but I have a manor house to use in North Carolina, and I've been offered another place in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I mean, and then I've wanted to do another seminar in Arkansas. So I've been, I've been really thinking, and then I want to go to Europe, of course. And then we had that wonderful Spain. We were in Spain a few years ago, and that was fun. But
so the autumn is a time to, maybe kind of just marinate, these things, and then get the framework.
Right. Definitely, I'm going to be working on my stuff, because my book is done, and it's at the agents. So we're going from there.
Fantastic.
Coming. It's time. Hey, Jason, where can they find you? What events do you have? Are you doing any Japanese seminars right now?
Oh, I have one coming up like in a week or so.
Okay.
Thanks for reminding me. So I can prepare
Yeah.
all of my Japanese. It's like,
Mhm.
no, I don't speak Japanese.
No.
Skoshi and Nashimasu.
Gosh. Oh, see?
But I
Yeah.
don't
More
I
than
do
I do.
not conduct the workshop in Japanese. I have a translator who works all the magic. I just show up and do my part, and it works out, and it's really wonderful. And the Japanese students are amazing and very insightful. I just love it. So that is a continuing process, and it's like there's you know, I do 3 classes a week there on Zoom. It's like anyone in the world can come in, as long as English is the main language there. It works, and we strengthen our understanding of the Tarot in in a lot of different ways. But I like to have people read, and I feel that that's the best way to learn Tarot is to read Tarot, and so there's always opportunity to read Tarot. So that's mainly where I'm at.
Right.
And
Oh,
jasondmckean.com, or Facebook Jason D. McKean, or Instagram Jason Tarot Wizard.
yeah. I'm on everywhere. TikTok even now. Yeah. I just started to
Are you
TikTok.
busting a move there on TikTok?
I'm busting a move. Yeah. I'm just adding stuff. You're on there with me, Jace. Yeah. So,
I did not know that.
yes.
Maybe I should like start busting a move.
Yeah. Well, we're not I'm not really into the silly stuff. I'm into having fun, but yeah, but you have a lot of content on there. So anyway, I'm going to do a full moon ritual also, at the seminar because the full moon, I think, is the 8th. Yeah.
Powerful.
So that's what we'll be doing is full moon ritual. So yeah.
Excellent.
In Sedona under the full moon. It's going to be great.
Excellent.
Okay, everybody. Lots of love and blessings. Happy autumn equinox. Yeah. We'll talk to you all soon.
Lots of love.
Blessings.